went to Reno.
I did. I went to
that?
Reno. Thank you for the introduction there, Matthew.
Yeah.
I was wondering how to lead into that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I was just shooting from the hip, apparently.
No, hey, whatever the fuck works.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't fucking
yeah.
matter. Yeah, I did go to Reno. It's like Las Vegas's older, poorer cousin. You know, that always wants a loan but never good to pay it back.
Yeah.
You know? So
wasn't
fucking
Reno,
horrible.
Reno 911 was based in Reno, right?
My goal there was to try and find cops like that.
Yeah.
I
think short
I,
pants and
I saw cop cars, but I didn't see cops. So I think they just parked their cars and I don't know what the fuck they did.
That sucks.
It was definitely not
worth going back.
No. And the only reason I went is because, you know, Ash's company had that thing going on. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll buy a ticket and go.
Hey, a vacation's vacation, you know?
It wasn't even really a vacation, though. I still had to work while I was over there. Yeah,
but still, I mean, you're out there doing your work, but still you're in, like, you don't have to go to the workplace.
You know, the hotel, it was like Trump's garage. It's all gaudy and full of marble, and I don't get it. And then the room, there's like gold everywhere for unnecessary reasons.
Damn.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
And the only fun part was getting to hang out with friends.
Yeah.
While we were there, and drinking and just getting ridiculously, you know, baked.
I mean, that's what you have to do when you're in, you know, even if you're in Nevada, anyways, because Las Vegas.
Because there's nothing to do in Nevada.
There's nothing to do, anyways. So.
A lot of prostitutes there.
I bet.
There were ads for brothels and shit. So I was pretty excited.
I don't think that's the good brothels though.
No. I was just excited to see ads for brothels because I'm like, wow, this is much more different than what I'm used to in Orange County.
Oh, so you
they definitely don't sell prostitutes there.
So you go to brothels?
No.
Motherfucker.
I didn't. Ricky. But I'm just saying, if I was a different man, maybe I would. But I just don't believe in paying for sex. I think that's a bad thing.
Gotta grab him by the pussy. Welcome to Shock Talk.
What a hell of an introduction.
Welcome to Shock Talk, everybody.
This is episode 6, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I hope.
Episode 6.
Yeah, this is episode 6.
Oh, dear God.
How far we've come.
It's all fucking downhill from here.
Yeah.
Every episode we do from now on is just going to be closer and closer to all of you abandoning us in the future.
Well, I mean, that's not looking like they're abandoning us right now. So.
No. In fact, our listens are going up. Yeah. So listens and downloads are going up. And we thank all of you for that.
Thank you. Yeah. How the fuck did you manage to listen to us?
I don't know. Maybe you were drunk or high. Either way, whatever substance you're on, keep doing that because you're listening to us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome to episode 6.
Yeah, welcome to episode 6.
Shock Talk.
Yeah.
I guess today I will be Rick, a.k.a. No Bullshit Rick.
No
I'll
bullshit.
give you a little hint of why I picked that name later. And today, Matt.
I named myself the Dankest Motherfucker.
Dankest Motherfucker.
If you don't know what that means, then I don't know what to say, people.
I didn't know what dank meant until about a month ago.
You didn't know what it meant?
No, I had to ask people.
You had to ask.
Yeah, I
the
had
internet?
to ask. I had to ask the internet. And I don't really have a lot of like cool friends that are into popular culture.
Well, I don't have any
culture.
friends either. So
you got friends. Shut up, Matt.
Oh yeah, true.
But what the fuck are we going to talk about today? Because it's episode 6. We're almost at episode 10.
Yeah.
So what is today about?
So today I wanted to tackle 2 topics of mine. And along with yours is 2 topics also.
For sure.
So
for sure.
Basically, it's going to be more a sports orientated, whatever.
That's a word, I think.
Orientated.
I don't know.
Taint.
Yeah.
Then it's politics and all that stuff. So what we're going to talk about is the Super Bowl and wrestling.
Hell yeah.
And you're going to combine it with what, Rick?
I'm going to talk about how the NFL approaches domestic violence and drug policy for their own, you know, because they're a private company.
Yeah.
For their sport. And then since we're in the wrestling mood here, and I'm gonna have a lot of questions for you, Matt, because I'm not a big wrestling person.
Yeah.
But I do know about Chris Benoit, so we're gonna talk a little bit about him, which I think his story is very interesting.
Yeah, I think we'll get more into it, but I think let alone Chris Benoit was basically, it was the future of how WWE is now from that point on, after the incident and everything, because I could tell. So, anyways, let's get right into it with the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl.
Pats
the 50
versus the Falcons.
Yeah, the 51st Super Bowl.
I know.
There's been 51.
Super Bowl L1.
Fuck. L1.
L1.
Like a fucking PlayStation controller. Ain't that a bitch? So what you think?
Oh my god.
That was nuts. That was probably one of the best Super Bowls I've ever watched.
No. It was great.
Yeah.
I didn't have any issues with anything really.
Yeah.
But part of me was kind of rooting for the Falcons.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought it'd be nice to see Matt Ryan get something. And they were doing so well, and then they fucked it up in the end.
I mean, the defense for the Falcons is so fucking good. They've been good throughout the whole season. And in the playoffs, they've been
like the best defensive team almost. Yeah. And
the offense has been as well too. So I was like, all right, well, maybe this is our opportunity. But you're going against the Patriots, Tom Brady, obviously,
who's a legend apparently.
He's a god. I'm not a god, but a goat.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I have a disagreement with you. I have a disagreement with you.
Why?
Because all right, he's a great player.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
great player. 5
Super Bowls, man.
He's a piece of shit. As a human being, Tom Brady is a massive piece of shit.
Well, yeah.
And there goes Boston. We lost everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, there goes the stats for Boston statistics.
Holy shit.
But, besides the point of him being a dick and everything.
Cheating to win a game because he deflated footballs. And he had everything to do with it, but he pretended like he didn't.
You only got, 5 games?
9.
Was it 9 games?
It was 9. Yeah,
he still won the Super Bowl.
I believe it was. Yeah,
he still won the Super Bowl. I thought it was 5. I swear it was 5, bro.
Maybe it was.
It was 5.
But either way, the fact that he was implicated in it, don't you think that kind of leads some suspicion onto him? Like, he'll do anything to win, including cheat.
Listen,
I mean, come on.
We live in a world that we have to cheat to be able to succeed in life.
I don't think that's
That was
true.
A joke. I know.
I was like, wait a second, Matt. I didn't really cheat that much,
I mean, we could try. But, besides him being a dick and obviously the charges and everything, he still is a 5-time Super Bowl champion at the end of the day. He's got 5 fucking rings.
I don't disagree. I mean, that's a fact. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, he has 5 rings. But the fact that he's just such a piece of shit that I can't like the guy.
I mean, we say the same thing about John Gibson, the Anaheim Ducks.
Oh yeah,
he's a dick, but he's a huge piece of shit. He's a kind of good, goaltender.
He's
to say the least.
I still think Freddie was a better goaltender.
Oh yeah,
John Gibson is just a piece of shit because he's full of himself and he thinks he's the best thing that God gave us. In terms of a goaltender, I don't think he understands who Carey Price is, though. Because if he did, then he would realize that he is a piece of shit compared to Carey Price. Just saying.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's the greatest, but besides that, the Super Bowl was great.
It was so close, though.
It was. Well, it wasn't in the beginning.
No.
The beginning was like shitstorm. And then, obviously, the Patriots came. Then, then I started thinking about it. It's like, how the fuck do you blow a 31 or not 31, like a 27-3, 27-9 lead? Like, fucking Christ.
It was like Atlanta was teaching a clinic on how to be shitty and choke.
I mean, shit, man. That was like, come on. You come so far to fucking choke.
And it was like a massive choke.
Oh, yeah.
I would compare that to the choke that San Jose chokes every fucking, Stanley Cup season.
Yeah.
I would compare it to the same.
Well, you know, San Jose never makes the Stanley Cup, so.
I mean, they have.
Oh, only twice.
They've lost both times.
Yeah. Suckers. Suckers.
Oh boy.
How many times have we? Oh yeah, we've made it for like twice and we won once, right?
Yeah.
Only twice. Yeah, only twice. Yeah.
Yeah, because we got the
Mighty Ducks
2003 Mighty Ducks.
And the Mighty Duck, yeah.
Yeah.
Should have won that one.
Should have, but we didn't.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
It doesn't matter.
What'd you think of the halftime show?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a fan of.
I don't like Lady Gaga.
I don't like her.
Good show though.
Huh?
Good show.
No, that's the thing. I don't like her, but her show was fucking great.
No.
And I feel like the fact that she was actually singing and not lip syncing like all the other bitches in that perform do, except for the Who, they didn't do that, and U2 didn't do that either. It seems like it's a pop kind of princess thing to do that. But I was expecting like Bruno Mars or somebody else because there was a rumor, right?
I think everybody was expecting. There was some guy that was on her album. I guess. I don't know the name of the person because I don't know. But supposedly he was supposed to make an appearance, but I guess nobody. You know, he didn't. So I was like, eh.
And she really didn't play a lot of her newer.
No, she just played like
stuff.
her old hits.
But everybody was getting along. Everybody liked it.
Yeah.
And I like the I was so expecting like a political message.
Yeah, you know.
And she didn't, and she said, all we're here for is to feel good. Let's feel good.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
That's good.
I didn't give you enough of a chance, Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
You surprised me.
I felt the swerve was basically not her making a political speech. That was a swerve of anything. Because I swore, I was like, dude, she's going to go up in the fucking building, like on top of the whole, you know, stadium.
She's going to come down riding an American flag.
Donald Trump! And then fly down like a spider, like how she did it.
Or I thought that maybe like she would light up a sign that says like resist or something. And I would have just been like, done, watching something else. But
resist.
She did a great job.
No,
I mean,
she's
fantastic.
She's a great entertainer.
Yeah.
So I don't watch her. I mean, I don't watch, but I don't watch her go to her concerts. I don't listen to her music.
Your family did though, right? Didn't they go see her live?
Yeah, they went to go see her live.
They liked her.
Yeah,
they thought she was great.
Yeah, they like her music. So, I mean, I don't listen to her music, but after watching, I'm like, well, she's a really good entertainer.
She is.
That's good.
I'd put her on par with like a Cher. Cher. You know, like Cher does a lot of costume changes and she did the Vegas thing for a while. My parents went to go see her in Vegas and they said that she was fantastic. And I think Lady Gaga is like that, where, you know, we're going to be having the same conversation when she's like 80 and she's performing in Vegas.
Yeah.
This is all the future for Lady Gaga. Yeah. But she's done so well. The thing that tripped me out in her performance, though, were the lights in the background. Yeah, and I didn't know that those were fucking drones. Yeah,
I didn't know that was drones either. I thought that was like lights in the sky.
I thought they were too.
Like they projected something. Or no, my mom brought
like lasers, right?
Yeah, my mom brought up. She was like, those are probably like just for us to see, like on TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like that could be something.
It's like ads, you know, during the game that we only see that the audience doesn't see there. You know?
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was, but it wasn't. It was fucking drones powered by IBM Watson.
And I was like, fucking Black Mirror. I immediately text Ash. I'm like, Black Mirror, bro.
She turned to me when they talked about the fact that it was drones, and she turned to me and she's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
That's fucking scary, man.
I was tripping out. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I was tripping out too. I was like, once it ended and then they said it was powered by drones, I'm like, fuck. That's not good. That's not good. That's the future, man.
I'm gonna get this going, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, overall the halftime show was fucking great. I enjoyed it. I think the whole Super Bowl. Yeah, she did a hell of a job, and I enjoyed it. I think.
Would you say that it's your favorite though?
My favorite? No, my favorite was The Who.
You got it right there. That's been The Who and U2 just after 9/11. Those were my two favorite Super Bowl halftime shows. I
recently went back to watch Michael Jackson's halftime show.
I haven't seen.
You never seen that one?
Oh no, maybe I have, but I don't remember.
There's like a fucking long pause right when he enters, it's
What?
at least, I think, like a 5-minute pause, or at least 3-minute pause of just him looking around at the crowd, and the crowd's just like yelling because they're all excited, and he's just standing there looking in like a fucking statue, just looking around. I'm like,
Really?
I mean, you could do that. He's a boss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't
Did he
blame
do the
him.
thing where he like leans forward really far?
Oh, the lean in type
Yeah.
shit? I think he did that.
You know how he does that?
What?
He has special shoes, and he has like a nail in the stage, and the shoes hook into the nail, and he's able to balance himself by leaning forward all the way.
I thought it was just a rope hanging from like a little tiny rope.
No. I thought that shit too. And then I saw like a video explanation of how he did it, and it's a fucking nail in a shoe.
What the fuck?
It's
He just has
crazy.
to be in the... Oh, okay. I see that now.
Yeah. It just like slips in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, but The Who was my favorite halftime show of all time. Prince was up there too. You know
Prince
what
is
was
very good.
you know what's funny? I mentioned it when the person on the piano, did you see that guy? With the round piano thing or the
Yeah. That was fucking nuts. When I was looking at that, I was like, what the fuck? This fucking guy, like, it was literally like all around him. And how did they get the fucking keys to line up
that
perfectly?
shit was sick.
Was that even real?
No,
like
it was
that's
real.
something I want to know.
No, that was real.
It had to be though, right?
No, it was real. That fucking thing was
Fucking
sick.
A.
I was like, dude, that is a fucking Boss keyboard. I want that shit. I want that shit so bad.
You don't even play the fucking keyboard.
Oh, I'm gonna learn now after seeing that. That inspired me.
Oh my god! All right, folks, if you're listening to us and we're taking a couple little quick pauses here, it's because I'm jet lagged like a motherfucker, so
Yeah,
I'm
you came back from a
medicating
flight,
myself.
people. Yeah.
And just bear with us. This show's gonna get wacky because we're not gonna be completely here during the show. Not mentally. You know, we're physically here, but we're not mentally here.
I don't know about physically, but yeah. I don't know
Oh
about
my
that.
god.
I'm
Oh my
physically
fucking-
dead. Now I think the biggest topic everybody watches every year.
This is the reason why people watch.
This is the reason why some people, mostly
well,
me,
it's
mostly
the reason
me.
I watch.
Yeah, I mean that every year. Is the commercials.
Oh, for sure. You have to watch the commercials.
I mean that's like a daily. I mean not daily, but every year you have to watch the commercials, even if they're shitty. So.
Exactly. You got to watch them. You got to entertain yourself. I feel like every year, every company that does a commercial tries to outbeat the other commercials. Like
Yeah.
when last year, when Doritos had their commercials, those were
great.
fucking
It
hilarious.
was great.
And this year, I don't remember a Doritos commercial.
No, they didn't. They didn't do a commercial for this year.
That sucks.
Yeah.
You know who else didn't do a commercial?
Hmm.
Heinz. Heinz normally does those commercials where the people are dressed up in the bottle
yeah.
costumes, and then they have the doggies run to
Yeah.
them. They're not going to do it this year, and they didn't. You know why?
Why?
Because they decided to take the money that they would have spent on the ad
Hmm.
and give every single one of their employees the day off the next day after the Super Bowl as like a Super Bowl recovery day. In fact, they went online and started a petition to get people to sign to make the day after the Super Bowl a federal holiday.
What the fuck?
And it actually got a lot of signatures.
Yeah,
I signed
bet.
it.
You
I thought it was
signed
great.
it?
Hell yeah. I want Monday after the Super Bowl off.
Oh, that's true.
Fuck
That's,
that Monday. I hated going in.
Huh. That should have happened then. What the fuck?
That Monday was the only day that I went in that week because I went to Reno the rest of the week. Whew. And I feel like I didn't need to go in that day. There was no point. Everybody's mind was not on work. Nobody gave a shit about what they were doing. It was just much easier to just stay home
Yeah.
or be off.
Yeah.
So I really like the fact that Heinz did that, and I give him props for that. And I think that I'm going to buy a lot more Heinz ketchup. I'll tell you that. I don't even like ketchup
Get
that much.
mustard.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna do the Heinz mustard, the Heinz relish. Fuck, if they do sauerkraut, it's on. I'm buying Heinz forever now because of the fact that they gave their employees the next day off.
That's pretty boss. Yeah.
We're ballers, but you know what? We care, and we're gonna be a baller for you.
We're ballers because we brought wiener dogs in our last commercial.
No, those are so cute though.
Those
I
are
love
good
those fucking
commercials.
commercials.
what was it? The other commercial that they did was actually they didn't show. Was it Budweiser had a commercial, right?
Oh my god.
Did they have one?
No, it wasn't. It was Anheuser-Busch. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go off on this for a second.
Fuck.
All right. You take that. You take that hit. I'll go ahead and.
Go ahead.
Okay. Anheuser-Busch decided to do an ad about the journey of, their founder coming to America from Belgium or wherever, or Germany. First of all, this is a fucking smokescreen. This is all about Trump's little ban, against people from certain countries coming in. We all know which fucking countries he's talking about. And I hate it because the fact that they try and pride themselves on being this like American company, these motherfuckers aren't American. They're from Belgium. They're not American.
Yeah.
He left Germany, an affluent family in Germany, where he could have easily started a fucking brewery. And he decided to come here and follow the American dream, so-called American dream. Well, Anheuser InBev, that's the company. AB InBev, Anheuser-Busch InBev. They aren't American. So you know what? Go fuck yourself. Because you're trying to tell us how to run our shit. Hey, why don't you open your fucking borders and let everybody in, you porous piece of shit? I'm sorry, that pisses me off.
Damn.
When another country comes and tells us how to run our shit, I don't want to go tell you how to run your shit. So don't come to my fucking backyard and tell me how to do my shit. Fuck you. That's the way I look at it.
Damn, Ricky.
I'm just saying. That was my piece about AB InBev. They can go fuck themselves and suck a hard cock.
Damn.
Because
that's has to be pretty fucking hard. Like a knife.
Exactly. Well, they could do that too if they wanted to. I don't give a shit.
Well.
Whatever turns you on, man.
Anyways, what was your favorite commercial?
I'll tell you what my favorite commercial wasn't.
Oh yeah, what was it?
The Mr. Clean commercial.
Oh. Yeah, that commercial creeped the fuck out of me.
Should I play it?
Yeah, play it.
Alright, I'm gonna play the Mr. Clean commercial. You're not gonna get it.
I don't want to watch it, but yeah, I gotta watch it.
It's mostly music, but it's basically an animated Mr. Clean being all sexy for a housewife, and it turns out she's just envisioning Mr. Clean, but it really is her husband, and he's like, "Oh, sweetie, what do you think?" And she ends up attacking him.
I got an important question to ask after the commercial.
Oh yeah, for sure,
about Mr. Clean.
All right, let's do Mr. Clean's commercial, and you just listen to the audio. If you've seen it before, you've seen it before. You know what's going on. Yeah. Let's see how we do this.
Got what you want, got what you need. Live your dream, live your fantasy.
Sarah? Clean enough?
Okay, so the last lines were "nothing sexier than a man who cleans" or something like that, right?
Yeah, that was the whole point of the commercial.
That's cute. I get it.
Yeah.
And I help clean. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. The problem is if the situation was reversed, it was a Mrs. Clean, and she was dancing all sexy inside of a fucking French maid outfit, and some husband's staring at her, and he's like, checking that ass out. And then he like jumps her bones on the fucking sofa like this bitch did to her husband. People would be crying sexual harassment through the roof. They'd be like, sexual harassment, sexist. But because it's a guy, Mr. Clean's a guy, and she's like a 40-something-year-old housewife or whatever, it's okay. Men can be sexually harassed too. I'm just saying.
After watching this commercial, I got pretty creeped out. It was so weird. I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is this? Is what
sexy Mr. Clean isn't good.
Think about it. Kids are watching this shit.
Exactly.
So it's like seeing fucking Mr. Clean squeeze the fucking sponge,
and he's like, it's basically like if a bunch of hot chicks are at a car wash in bikinis and they're squeezing the sponge on themselves. It's the same thing, but a guy doing it pretty much, and it was just so fucking stupid and dumb. Like it wasn't even creative. It wasn't interesting. It didn't grab my attention other than the fact that I felt uncomfortable after I watched it. This must be like how every date that Kobe went on felt like for the female, you know, where she knew at the end she was going to get raped anyways, and she's like, oh, well, yeah, it's Kobe. I gotta let it happen. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Kobe. You're the best. Black Mamba. For sure.
Black Mamba.
Black Mamba.
For life. Anyways, my question. Does Mr. Clean have cancer?
I feel like he's in recovery, Matt.
He's in recovery?
I feel like he's in recovery.
He's been bald for a long time, Ricky.
He's got the big cancer.
Mm.
He's got ball cancer.
A ball cancer.
Ball cancer. Well, you see the tight pants that motherfucker likes to wear? He's definitely got cancer of the balls there because
God
you can't fit your balls in those tight-ass pants.
Here's another question. Would you
Okay.
fuck Mr. Clean?
For how much money?
Ooh, how much money would it be?
It would have to be a lot. I'm just going to say.
How much is a lot for you?
Ooh. I have a pretty high standard for what a lot is. So it'd have to be at least like 500 million.
500 million?
I'm just saying.
To fuck Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to put a lot of effort into it, you know? Like you said I'd be fucking him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if I'm fucking him, then I gotta try hard, right?
Yeah.
I've never fucked a dude. I gotta do like research and figure out how to do it. Talk to gay dudes and ask them how it is. Figure it out.
Go on Reddit.
Yeah, go on Reddit. That's probably the worst thing I could do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We search "fuck Mr. Clean" on Reddit and see what happens. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Siri, fuck Mr. Clean on Reddit.
No, you didn't even say it right.
I said it wrong.
You said it wrong. It's Siri.
Siri.
Search Mr. Clean.
I don't have an iPhone. So.
Fucking. Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So, but one of the commercials that freaked me out was, and it started off all innocent, and we thought it was like, oh, it's an old school Eggo commercial, and we're like, oh yeah, sweet. Stranger Things season 2, motherfuckers. Cthulhu up and all that, motherfucker. Holy shit! What do you think about that?
Fuck, dude. You know, this commercial, I didn't see it coming by far. I didn't see it coming. So when it started, like you said, with the Eggo commercial, I was like, huh, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I heard 11.
Right?
Yeah, I was like, this is fucking crazy. I literally got up from my chair just to see this commercial. And I swear to God, I had like goosebumps all over, and I was like, fuck, you know, I got the chills.
You were so excited.
I was excited. I fucking love Stranger Things, dude. I fucking love this
show. I bet
show.
you felt that way about this trailer the same way I felt when I found out Alex Jones is going to be on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I remember I texted you about that.
Yeah, you did.
I texted you and I was like, Alex Jones, Eddie Bravo on Joe Rogan's podcast for the episode 911. 9/11. And didn't I say this is like Christmas?
This is like Christmas.
Because to me it's like fucking Christmas. It was fan fucking tastic.
Yeah.
And I got that excited, so I know that you felt that excited about this thing.
Oh yeah.
So let's play the trailer.
Yeah.
You can't really tell a lot from the trailer, but if you get a chance, search it on YouTube. It's Stranger Things Season 2 trailer, Super Bowl ad, whatever. You can search it. You'll find it. We'll put the link in the description for the episode.
Yeah.
Look on my ego.
You like on my egg?
I love it!
It reminds me of the Childish Gambino song, The Mix.
Yeah.
Pretty bomb.
Because it's amazing. But this trailer is amazing too.
I think Cthulhu was in it. If you don't know who Cthulhu is...
Is that the big monster?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I think Cthulhu was in it. And if you don't know who Cthulhu is, get a book and read it. It's going to be by H.P. Lovecraft. It's interesting. The theory of Cthulhu. Or the idea of Cthulhu. It's a horrible, horrifying monster.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was showing up in the show.
Yeah.
So I was pretty
Spider
excited.
Yeah.
Also, I was really baked. I told you about the high dose lollipop.
Yeah.
I had a situation going on in my head, and when I saw that trailer, I thought it was real. I thought this shit was real. It was going on.
It's going on outside right now.
I didn't even want to look outside. I'm glad the blinds were drawn because I was like, fuck. Shit's going down. Shit is going down. For me, I'd compare it to like, you know, the War of the Worlds, how they read it on the radio and people actually thought it was real back in the day.
Yeah.
I compared it to that.
Yeah.
Because I was on that lollipop and I was like off in the netherworld somewhere and I saw this and I was like, fuck, shit's going down outside. I thought it was a news report.
You were at the Upside Down.
I was in the Upside Down.
Damn.
But I'm so excited to see 11 and the gang come back and, you know, do a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
It's just such a good story. It's such a good show.
And what I love about season 1, the ending of it was, I'm not going to spoil anything, because if you haven't seen it yet, then what the fuck? You should go see it.
Like right now.
Yeah, like right now.
Pause this and go watch it.
Don't click out the browser.
No, leave us going. In fact, download us a couple extra times. I'm just going to say.
Anyways, the ending of season 1 was so good because anything could have happened. They could have gone anywhere with the story. Anywhere.
It really can.
There was so many multiple options for them to just do whatever they want.
Oh, yeah.
So, seeing that's coming out of Halloween, which is how fitting, I can already tell what the first episode is going to be. You know, just seeing it is just fucking
Is that because
awesome.
you're psychic, though, Matt?
Hmm?
Is that because you're
Well,
psychic?
I mean, yeah.
All right, fuck.
Did you know that?
Don't do that. Don't do that to me right now. I'm in a vulnerable state.
Maybe I would never.
Well, the first episode, like you said, is going to be obviously what?
It's going to be Halloween related.
Right? Because what costume were they wearing?
Ghostbusters.
Hell yeah!
Ain't that the greatest
Any
movie?
kid that wears a Ghostbusters costume is great in my book.
Oh, man.
And I like the guy. You know, it's so funny. I really like the he's the young actor with the curly hair. And you know he gets bullied on.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I don't know his name, but I really like him because I feel like he provides such a humor backbone for the whole cast that it's a really well developed class of actors. And you got Winona Ryder, who's always crazy, and she's been crazy since the 80s. And
yeah,
it's just such a good like 80s related sci-fi horror drama. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to watch this. It's
Yeah.
very creative. But those were the stupid thing, Matt, is that we're talking about commercials.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the Super Bowl, which was the
I
Super
know,
Bowls,
I know.
we should have been paying attention to the game more.
I think that's what people are more, even if their team is not in the Super Bowl, I think they're more like, oh man, commercials every year, they're so good. I can't wait to see next year's commercials. That's all they talk about every time the Super Bowl goes. I mean, that's America.
So, in your opinion, do you think that the Super Bowl is not really so much about the game, but it's just about the tradition and the, I guess, like just the traditional things that we do. We feast, we drink, and we watch commercials.
Yeah.
So would you say it's more about that than the game?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's more about the commercials than the game. The game's great.
Oh, yeah.
Even last year's game, not last year's, but was it last year?
No,
Yeah,
last year's game was great too.
Yeah, last year's game was Denver, right?
Yep.
Denver. Even last year's game, I think Denver killed the Seahawks or Panthers. I forgot what team it was. It was what year, but when they were playing each other, all we wanted to see was commercials. Because the commercials were so fucking good to the point of the game. So it's like, we kind of expect the commercials every year to be fucking good.
I'm going to agree with you, but I'm also going to say it has to have a purpose. So all these things, the commercials, the feasting of tons of food and drinking, it wouldn't have a purpose unless the game existed. And I think it goes to say something about our society that we can gather and watch this like crazy event of these dudes beating the shit out of each other and moving a ball across the line.
Yeah.
And we celebrate it by dunking our faces into food. I know I ate a lot.
Yeah.
I drank a lot and did other things. And I think that was the most fun part. And I really like this. I'm on board with the Heinz thing. I think we should definitely get that next day off. But one of the things that I did want to go into further is how the NFL is. You know, we're watching this game, and we really should ask each other, what does the NFL stand for? I mean, not like what the acronym stands for, obviously. National Football League. For sure. If you didn't know that, you know that now. But what exactly is it that we look for in a league, in a sports league? Because every league has different rules, right? I mean, every game has different rules. And every player has to try and follow them. But you got a lot of players in the NFL that are pieces of shit. I mean, you were telling me, who were you telling me earlier again? It's Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger.
I forgot his name for a bit.
Roethlisberger. All right, no more of this. I'm turning this off. Oh boy. Okay.
Oops.
Okay. Maybe you should have just done that much.
No, we're good.
Okay.
It's fine. We got it.
All right. Well, you were telling me about Roethlisberger, accused of raping a 15-year-old. Ray Rice, who beat the shit out of his wife. I feel like the NFL is like not the history of the football league, but it's actually the history of like violence, drug abuse, gun charges, criminal behavior, and rape, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, that's on point.
It really is. I mean, I was doing some research on it, like literally right before the podcast, because I was in Reno. I'm not going to do work in Reno.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work there. But ESPN, they had a quote. I'd like to read it for everybody here.
Good.
So in 2014, after Ray Rice was caught on camera punching his then fiance in an elevator, the NFL implemented a new personal conduct policy. Violations that involve domestic violence would be addressed with a baseline 6-game suspension. The charge, assault 4th degree / domestic violence, was later dropped. 6 suspensions for knocking your fiance away.
Yeah.
Basically just knocking her out. Does that seem right to you, Matt?
I don't know, man. I think you should be going to jail in general.
I agree.
You're beating your wife.
Because that's a crime, right?
It's a crime, yeah. Well, yeah, it's a crime. Didn't Ray Rice allegedly kill somebody too?
Allegedly,
yeah.
He probably did. Though.
Yeah, he did.
I'm just gonna say.
I mean,
he probably fucking did.
We're just gonna tell you right now, Shock Talk, he did it.
Yeah. Yet he's free, and then Martha Stewart gets some inside information on a stock, and she goes to jail. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's what you expect. But anyways, I mean, yeah, I think it's just wrong that NFL players these days, they get so much privilege. They get so much
they really fucking do.
Yeah, they get so much privilege
really
that even if they do beat their wife or rape, whatever, they're gonna get like a 6-game suspension, or they're gonna be like, okay, you're just not gonna play this year. It doesn't matter. They're not gonna go to jail for it.
No,
because there's so much money involved in this shit.
You committed a crime. You need to do the time for that crime.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I was doing some more research, and I realized, well, I'm gonna search, NFL and marijuana. Like, what is their policy on marijuana? Because they deal a lot with performance enhancing drugs, right? Steroids and all that bullshit. They actually have a really shitty marijuana policy, which is, if you test positive for it, you can almost be suspended a whole season.
Shit.
All of their marijuana policy is like old school policy that came way before they developed a policy for performance enhancing drugs. Marijuana is not a performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
I know, because it's not making this podcast any better at this moment. I'm just being honest with you guys. This is going to be a shitty episode. But the fact that marijuana policy is such a big deal in the NFL, but beating the shit out of your wife isn't.
Yeah.
Pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Because it makes me think, God damn, those feminists do have a point. I
gotta fucking agree with them.
Fuck. God damn it.
Off topic?
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
Did you know Emmett Watson is a feminist?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, well.
And that's the moment I stopped liking her. No. I used to have such a Hermione crush. You know, like I was like, oh my god, if I ever met her, I'd be like gushing. I'd be like that one dude who's like, oh my god, can I get a hug? You know, but the fact that she's a feminist, it bothers me.
Yeah, well, yeah. I still like her though, so.
Oh, I love how she looks. I just don't like her brain. It's different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can like how somebody looks. They can be pretty, but that doesn't mean you have to like what they have to say or think.
Yeah.
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 That's why you don't marry that person.
Well, you know. Anyways.
Sorry, bad marriages.
Going back to the marijuana.
Back to the marijuana. So it's so fucked up.
No,
man.
it is, yeah.
Like you can't justify like, all right, you know, you took a hit on the weekend at the club or whatever, and nothing else happens. You go home and eat a fucking cheeseburger. That's it.
Yeah.
But yet you can beat the shit out of your fiance in an elevator, get filmed doing it by security camera, and 6 games. Yeah, that sounds about right. No jail time.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, sometimes the NFL players, they need a fucking break, you know? They do. Sometimes.
Sometimes. All the time. Man.
All the time.
They get fucking breaks constantly.
Yeah.
Their whole life is a fucking break.
Sometimes, you know, if you want to hit the bong or smoke a joint.
Yeah.
Just, you know, do it. I know a lot of, you know, it's not just the NFL. Other leagues, they don't allow marijuana. Yet, what was it, like the NHL? They
have a really progressive policy on marijuana.
Yeah, NHL has an aggressive one too. So it's like...
You don't get suspended at all. Because they don't see it as a performance-enhancing drug. They see it as more of a drug of abuse or something.
Yeah.
So they would put you into sort of like a program where they teach you the deficiencies that drugs could cause to you and your body and stuff like that. Yeah. Like a DARE program for adults, basically.
Yeah, well.
It's a more of a progressive policy. Even that, I think, is a little too strict on marijuana because, first of all, it's not going to do shit to you. I mean, look at fucking the Diaz brothers. These motherfuckers smoking blunts like nothing. Yeah. And they're beating the shit out of people on a constant basis. Yeah. I mean, one of them did beat Connor. Of course, Connor did beat him back. But that's not the point. The point is, it's obviously not a performance-enhancing drug. It doesn't do anything other than help you relax. And is Nick the older brother, or is Nate the older brother? I don't remember.
I think it's Nick.
It's Nick?
Yeah.
Okay, Nick, he uses a lot of CBD products. Which CBD products is cannabidiol, which does not cause you to have any psychoactive effects. It's purely to lower the inflammation in your body and help your immune system adjust. That's it. Okay. And the fact that they gave him shit for after he got his ass kicked by Connor, he went up and he had like a little CBD vape pen, and they were like, "You can't do that. That's wrong." Come on, stop living in the fucking past, people. Well, this is ridiculous. Yeah. What, you want him to pop a fucking OxyContin and go out there high as a kite?
Imagine.
I mean, it would be more entertaining, definitely.
Just imagine any entertainer going out there OxyContin or fucking cocaine.
I always thought, you know, rest in peace, Robin Williams. But I always thought, like, I always want to see that motherfucker on like heroin or like OxyContin on a stage performing. I just think that would be the funniest thing, because he'd be like all loose and bubbly, versus he's always like talking like this, Williams, you know, he's like really bubbly and shit, and that would just slam his ass down to the ground. Don't you think? It totally would.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Oh my god, this is a great one, right? I don't even know what it was. I think it's Strawberry Cough.
What did we do? I don't know.
What are we doing?
Anyways,
you were going to tell me about some wrestling. You were going to teach me some facts about wrestling. So facts. Matthew, please.
Facts.
Matt Guru.
With Matthew.
Please teach me.
Wrestling, Ricky. You've watched like one match, right?
No, I've watched more than one match, Matt.
Did you watch like I don't know. How many matches did you watch then?
Well, when I was a kid, I would I would watch wrestling from time to time.
Okay.
But that was more like Hulk Hogan time. Okay. And The Rock. I love The Rock. He's great. Fantastic. But once it got to like The Miz and all those people,
Okay. You just stopped watching?
Yeah, because
I think, I was in the same boat with you. I think I stopped watching after WrestleMania. I'm going to say WrestleMania 21 when they went to Hollywood, California. When they went there, and after the whole pay-per-view, I just stopped watching. Because I never watched Raw. I only watched SmackDown at the time because that was the only thing I got. So really, I mean, after I stopped watching that for a good maybe 6-7 years, I believe, and then 2012, I watched a promo with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
He did a promo on how,
and he's one of your favorite.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. And he did a promo. People call it a shoot promo because basically it means that he's shooting from the hip. All the stuff is kind of true and shit, whatever.
Right.
He's doing a shoot promo, and basically he's talking about the company, how they don't push him, how they push these other guys that, like John Cena at the time, how they push him so much in the spotlight when these other people, these other wrestlers, they work their asses off day in and day out, and they don't get the respect that they need. So he's just basically going on a full promo.
So it's more like a, not really like a fuck you WWE, but more like the shit's not completely real. Like there's other people out there that are trying way harder.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. There's other people out there, especially in the W, that are trying way harder, and he's one of them. You know.
Right.
So at the time, I watched that and I was like, "Fuck, I should get back into it." So I started watching it again, and especially him on TV, it was so fucking good at the time. I was like, holy shit, what have I been missing?
Yeah.
You know? And so I had to catch, I didn't watch any of like after the whole WrestleMania, I didn't go back to watch any of like the Raw, SmackDown or anything, because that's a lot.
Right.
So I didn't even bother. I just read up like a couple pay-per-views and all that stuff, and that was it.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
What is it about CM Punk, in terms of as a wrestler or like his character?
Mm-hmm.
What do you find more attractive to you? Like what appeals to you the most about him, and what makes you like him?
You know, I think it's because at the time he just didn't give a fuck. And around my time, I mean, especially now, it's like, I don't give a fuck about people, what they think about me and that stuff. I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
So I think him not giving a fuck really inspired me, and it really made me change the way who I am. And it's just him in general, the things he stands for is cool. He's straight edge, whatever. Yeah. That's cool. You know, a lot of kids could look up to him for that.
It takes a lot of dedication
to
stay sober.
And he has such a crazy backstory in his life about how his father, the only reason why he is straight edge because his father drank and all this stuff. There's a whole documentary about it that I have on DVD. Anyways, I'd
like to borrow that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow that actually one day. Yeah, so he basically just, that's why I like him a lot, because he stands for all this stuff and he does all these things. He doesn't give a fuck, you know? There's people on Twitter that might criticize him, all this stuff. He fucking talks right back. Doesn't matter how, he just does it. Especially when he was in WWE, he didn't give a fuck. So
I get it now.
Yeah.
Like when you describe him that way, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like it makes sense to look at him like one of these people who he's one of the best wrestlers of his group, of his class.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really how I started watching it. And as of now, compared to then, I give this, this year, it's fucking crazy because I know all the well, they call them the superstars, but wrestlers. I know who they are. I know their backstories because, I watch wrestling a lot now. So it's such an exciting time to watch wrestling, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have watched it for such a long time, and they how do you call it? They criticize it because they don't like it this way or that way, whatever. And it's like mostly
they criticize the whole organization, or
just the way how people are being booked and stuff. But in my mind, it's like, you know, they're doing great, and you know sometimes they're wrong. You know, it could be this way or it could be that way.
Right.
So
what then would you say? Because CM Punk, he's not the most recent wrestler, obviously. You know, he's been around for a while. But there's other wrestlers that have been around for even longer than him.
oh yeah,
Like, you know, back in the day, like Mick Foley and all that stuff.
yeah.
What would you say is the biggest difference between wrestling then and now?
It's more how should I say? It's more of an art, wrestling.
Like
now than then, because then it was just more, you know, women, big tits.
Yeah.
The
show.
The show, basically. The blading when they would cut themselves. They don't do that anymore for obvious reasons.
Which I didn't even know that until recently.
Yeah. So and what else? Like the bumps. They take out a lot of stuff that could get a wrestler concussed.
Uh-huh.
So they've changed a lot of rules. They changed a lot of all these other things, and
So would they made it safer?
they made it more safer, but they made it more funner in general. Because the wrestlers nowadays, they're very, very highly respected. You got these people doing these moves that I can never do.
Yeah.
And back then, they could never do it because people were fucking huge.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there'd be some, like the little tiny cruiserweights, they could do flips and shit. But the wrestlers now, they're just like, they're doing all these fucking moves. They're jumping off top ropes. They're doing flips in the ring. It's fucking unbelievable. So I think I love the era now because I get to see. I mean, then it was fucking awesome with The Rock and everything. But now it's like, this is like art inside a ring. It's like watching a Broadway or a good Broadway or a just like a good concert or whatever. You watch it and you're like, fuck, I want to go back, I want to keep watching. And yeah, it's great.
That's pretty interesting. I've never heard wrestling compared to like Broadway, but I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense because, and this is something that I hate about people who are too artsy fartsy, is that they would never look at wrestling or like mixed martial arts and think that that's art, but it is.
It is, yeah.
It is absolutely an art. It might not be an art to your taste, but it is an art. I mean, why is it called martial arts? Like mixed martial arts. Obviously, they were some sort of body art form, right?
Yeah.
So wrestling's similar.
Yeah. And
especially wrestling now. Now, I do know, I mean, the match that I was watching with Mick Foley and
Undertaker.
Undertaker. The super brutal match, rolling around in tacks, getting knocking the cage down, falling in. Absolutely insane amount of violence.
Yeah.
But the thing that I like about that versus the wrestling that I guess is now, is you described now as more like acrobatic and there's kind of a meaning to the movement.
Mm-hmm.
Back then it was, you were right, it's like pure like shock entertainment. It's just about the big show. And I would definitely recommend people to watch that match, the one that I'm talking about, the
Undertaker and Mankind.
Hell in the Cell? Hell in the Cell?
Yeah.
Yeah, if people can check that match out, Hell in the Cell, Undertaker versus Mankind, it's
a classic. It's one of the greatest. I mean, that was really the first match that I watched. Yeah, it was like one of the first matches I've watched on a pay-per-view, and I was like, fuck. This is brutal. I like it.
It's brutal, but the thing is, and maybe this would help you see it as an art, right? It would be, watch it and appreciate the sacrifice that each one of these athletes is making with their body.
Yeah.
To entertain you, to make you, the fan, appreciate them.
Yeah.
And I think once you look at it like that, then you can see it as an art.
And really, I mean, nowadays, being a wrestling fan is not really common than back then, because back then you could be a fucking like mega wrestling fan because everybody was a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like if you're a wrestling fan, you know you're pretty much considered like a nerd or something. Whatever.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. You
That
can't
doesn't
really
make any sense to me.
You can't really If it's not like you can't watch it, but it's gonna be weird if you do watch it nowadays. Yeah, I don't get it. It's weird. Yeah,
I've never heard that.
yeah,
That if you watch wrestling now, you're considered a nerd.
or like weird or something. Yeah,
Why?
it's times have changed, man. It's weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. It's weird, but yeah. I mean, I think I really recommend you do watch from a match from this era type wrestling. What was it? It was. I'm gonna say. Oh yeah. I mean, this is not in WWE.
Right.
This match. I recently watched it before. It was this pay-per-view of last month. It's Kenny Omega versus Okada. I forgot his first name, but if you punch that up, it's from New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's this big mega pay-per-view, Wrestle Kingdom 11, and it's a 3-hour show, 3-hour wrestling show. And this match was fucking unbelievable.
Huh.
The story that they tell and just the shit that they do, because really when you watch that match, it's basically the definition of what this era of wrestling is. Very technical, very risky at some times, and just constant non-stop action. The last 8 minutes of the match was back and forth, and the crowd couldn't catch their breath. It was
shit.
It was amazing. I really recommend you watch it. It's like on Twitter. Sometimes it's like a 51-minute match, but I think not Twitter, YouTube. I think sometimes people upload it because it gets deleted. Sometimes it's copyright.
Yeah.
But people keep uploading it. If I could find it, I'll send you the link and you could watch that match.
Well, let's find it and then we'll post it on the description for this.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. But it's a fantastic match. I recommend that to watch.
That's okay. Well, and that's not WWE?
No, it's New Japan. I mean, for WWE, I would recommend. I mean, it's one of my favorites of last year. What was it? It was Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and it's a pay-per-view called Battlegrounds, just 1-on-1. Because that whole story is they used to be best friends, and now they're bitter enemies.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but
I like that shit.
it's kind of it's pretty dope. But at the end of it, the pay-per-view, it's a very good story, high risk action, and it's just back and forth type shit. So it's really good from WWE last year.
You had told me it was a while ago, but I hadn't been able to talk to you about it. But
What?
You had told me that there's a wrestling gym close by, and I was really interested to see if you had gone and talked to them about it.
No, well, not yet. Well, see, here's the thing.
Are you about to break it down, Matt?
No, yeah.
Okay.
I've been wanting to do this for a while. I mean, since maybe when I was in high school, I was very interested in doing it. But now I have money, I have the time. I thought, why not? So what I want to try to do is I want to go to the gym. I want to get some muscle first before going to there.
Yeah.
And go to the wrestling gym in Southgate and get a membership and try out for like a little, like 3 days or whatever training program, and then we'll see what goes from there.
Do they do public matches?
Huh?
Do they do public matches there?
Yeah, they do public matches there.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's one of those things where not many. It's like an indie promotion for wrestling.
Got it.
It's basically not well known, but they do matches there. There's a lot of other places. I think there's one in Long Beach also. There's a wrestling gym, but yeah, California is really based on wrestling gyms. I've noticed,
and UFC gyms
and UFC too. It's more UFC and wrestling. It's crazy. So yeah,
if you're in Orange County, the other thing you'll notice that we have everywhere is fucking Gracie Jiu-Jitsus. We have those shits everywhere.
Yeah,
literally, you could throw a fucking dart at a city in Orange County. There's a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu there.
That's true.
No joke.
That's crazy. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. But yeah, I want to try to become a professional wrestler one day.
You really think you could do it?
Yeah, I think I could do it. I think if I really build myself up again with my stamina, I'll be fine. Because of that and the muscle, then I gotta take the bumps and stuff, especially the chops on your chest. So, and I want to learn like how to do like a super kick. Because super kick, you just basically lift your leg up and it looks like you're hitting the person's jaw, and they make a little like a loud slap noise on the thigh to make it sound like, oh, you hit the person's jaw. So I want to try to do that like perfect, because I think I could pull that off. But there's a lot of other things I want to try if I actually go on and do into professional wrestling.
I hope you do it.
I really want to do it. I want to try it out and see what happens. I think I could do it. So
you could do it, and then you could start a wrestling podcast on the side.
Fucking great.
So that you do this and that.
Yeah.
And you could like interview people from your gym.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That'd be pretty cool. That's a good idea.
Boom, boom, boom. Watching out for you. If you ever need me to give you a chop to the chest, just let me know. I'll volunteer.
I don't want you to chop me, Ricky.
I'm just saying, I would never hit you.
Domestic violence.
You would have you'd have to beg me. You'd be like, "Come on, dude, just fucking do it." I'd be like, "I can't, man.
Motherfucker, come on.
I love you, man. I can't do this shit."
Chop me, motherfucker.
One of the things that I learned about, because you gave us access to your WWE thingy.
Yeah.
And that's when I got to see the Hell in the Cell, and that was dope as fuck. It was so violent. It blew my mind. And it blew my mind to learn that they used to cut themselves with razors, and the ref would hand them razors and shit, and I didn't even know this.
Yeah, they would hide in stuff, yeah.
But the thing that bugs me is, and I'm glad you were telling me, so now I know that their WWE is changing it a bit, but they're getting safer.
Yeah.
They didn't used to be, though. And people used to punish their bodies and their heads so much. And one of the things that people used to do, and the person we're going to talk about next, he did this a lot, and it was take chairs to the back of the head. Right?
Yeah. It was with the back of the head.
And
yeah.
It was a straight up hit to the back of the head.
Yeah.
It wasn't like softened. It was a breakaway chair, granted.
Yeah.
But it's still going to hurt.
Those chairs fucking... Oh, you could go on your story, but I want to talk about Mankind. Mick Foley.
Yeah.
11 chair shots to the head. This is the reason why he's so fucked up in the head right now.
Like total?
Total.
Oof.
It was during the match, Royal Rumble, The Rock versus Mankind, I believe. And it's like for the title or whatever. But he's handcuffed too, by the way. So he's defenseless. 11 chair shots to the head, back to back to back. And there's a reason why he's so concussed in this day and age. Cause
he still has the symptoms.
He's fucked in the head. Those chair shots, and it's sad to see him, because sometimes because he's like the general manager for Raw.
Yeah.
And sometimes Stephanie McMahon would have to tell him his lines in his ears, and then he says it, like says, what it is. I'm like, fuck, I feel so bad for him. Like, I really do.
And his book, I heard, was great.
Yeah.
If you got to read his book, I'd like to read his book. He really talks about how much he put his body through to make people happy.
Yeah.
And he did. He's a super successful wrestler.
Yeah.
He will never be forgotten. One of the people that is kind of, I feel like they've gotten a little forgotten, is Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a lot of chair shots to the head as well.
Yeah.
He, for people who don't know, Chris Benoit, basically, it was a double murder suicide. He killed his wife and his son, and then he killed himself. And we still don't know why he did it.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Benoit, growing up watching him, it was so amazing to see him Wrestle, because he has such an amazing story. Especially growing up with a superstar or wrestler that was best friends with him. True, sadly he's gone. Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
They both were buddies through and through. They've traveled around. They wrestled each other. They did so many things, and they both made in the WWE. And there's a picture, well, not a picture, but there's a video online. Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. They both won their matches. They're both champions, and they're standing in the middle of the ring, WrestleMania, while confetti's going down, and they both hug. And it's like,
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's like that moment, they were together through and through, and here they are in the middle of the ring, WrestleMania, the biggest event, and they're both champions. That's fucking crazy. And, with Chris Benoit, like what was going through his head once he passed away, once he did the double suicide, when he lost his best friend, I believe he was very, very messed up in the head.
I think so too.
Yeah, it was really I think that, and the painkillers and all the stuff that he used.
But I don't think it's so much the painkillers. I think what it was, Matt, it was definitely the CTE, the chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Basically, you get bumped, knocked in the head a bunch of fucking times.
Yeah, you're
gonna get fucked up. And just so that people understand, one of the traits of serial killers is you got knocked in the head when you were a kid and it fucked something up in your head. Another example is there's the he's a comedian. Joe Rogan talks about him a lot. I forgot his fucking name. But he got hit by a car and got a really bad concussion, and then from that moment on, he was like a crazy comedian, and he did all kinds of drugs and all kinds of shit. But that shit can fuck with you. I feel like that's what happened with Chris Benoit. I feel like he didn't want to kill his wife.
No,
and he didn't want to kill his son.
No,
and I know that it had to be something wrong with his head. And the WWE made a statement shortly after the situation happened. He actually did get an autopsy. I'm going to read the statement in a second, but the autopsy revealed that he had the brain of an 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Shit.
Because of all the damage to his brain.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Like he can't be culpable for killing his wife and son.
Yeah.
Obviously that was not him. It was something else.
It was, this event when, like you said, after WWE did a program, it wasn't really much of like in front of the crowd type stuff.
Yeah.
It was more like, it was Vince McMahon in the ring, and he was basically talking about Chris Benoit, how great he was, and they showed flashbacks of his matches. That was actually during a Monday night program, but they didn't do the program because of what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that clearly, and just hearing about it and everything, it's like this guy has such a great career that this fucking happened. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, why would you do that? That's crazy.
That's why I said I think it was all the shit that happened to his head.
Yeah.
Like it had to be.
Yeah.
If you asked anybody, and we're going to get Steve Austin's opinion later. We're going to play it for everybody, but he gives you a really honest opinion about what he thinks about Chris Benoit as a person and what happened. But I'm going to read the WWE statement. The WWE statement came shortly after they found out what happened. So let me go ahead and tilt my mic. I'll go ahead and read that statement.
Okay.
Ooh, shit. All right. So basically it says, World Wrestling Entertainment is deeply saddened to report today that Chris Benoit and his family were found dead in their home. There are no further details at this time. Obviously, this was prior to what happened. Other than the Benoit family residence is currently being investigated by local authorities. Tonight's Raw on USA will serve as a tribute to Chris Benoit and his family. WWE extends its sincerest thoughts and prayers to the Benoit family's relatives and loved ones in this time of tragedy. And I think that, Matt, was the statement that aired right before what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's that was what I was talking about.
Yeah. So this, obviously, this was before they found out what really happened.
Yeah. I think it was. I think they knew about it. It's just
they just didn't want to acknowledge it.
I don't know. WWE is like that, whatever.
Well,
they're very corrupt. So
well, I mean, obviously they're an entertainment company. They're not a fucking.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So you did mention to me that because you have access to WWE's app, you did mention that they hide Benoit's fights.
Yeah.
And we tried to look for them.
Well, they don't.
It was really difficult for us.
The thing was, you could watch them.
Yeah.
It's just you have to go to a certain point in the little timeline thing. Once you start the pay-per-view or show or whatever, you literally have to fast forward to the point where the match starts, and obviously it ends. Right there.
Yeah.
So you really have to fast forward to watch it. Like, for example, WrestleMania 20. It was Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. Triple threat match, main event.
Mm-hmm.
The main event. So you would think it would be on there, like the little thing to skip to it. It's not on there. Not at all. So you literally have to fast forward all the way to the back.
Well, that's why we didn't find it.
Yeah. So.
Because we had searched Chris Benoit and nothing came up.
Yeah.
And we're like, there's no way that they erased all of his stuff.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
No.
But you have to go through hoops just to get to his stuff.
I mean, you don't really have to go through hoops. It's a simple thing, but yeah, it's just, it's another thing where they don't want to talk about what happened, anything. WWE doesn't want to.
They don't want to acknowledge that they could have contributed to this.
He doesn't want to acknowledge what he did, so.
It's not that they don't want to acknowledge what he did. I feel like they don't want to link themselves with him.
Yeah.
Because they don't want people to know or people to think that they condoned that many injuries to his head, which then caused the death of his family.
Yeah.
And then they could be blamed for that death. That's what it is.
Yeah. So,
they're a business. They're going to do this to protect themselves.
I would like one day, though, for Chris Benoit to be in the Hall of Fame, because
I agree.
I think he deserves it a lot, especially in his career in ECW and everything. But yeah, I think he deserves it. But anyways,
I agree. But the story, or the main point here that I'm driving at is, don't beat your fucking family or murder them. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But I'd like to play Steve Austin's quote. He it's from him. I think it was from his podcast, right?
Yeah.
So Steve Austin's super honest. You were talking to me earlier and you were mentioning he just
he's very honest. He shoots from the hip.
He really does. And he doesn't give a shit.
No, he doesn't. That's great.
Yeah. We need more people like that.
Yeah.
To not give a shit. So let's go ahead and play that.
Here we go. Howdy, Steve. My name is James, and I'm going to ask you a very controversial question. Let's get this fucking question out of the way. What are your thoughts on Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame on the WWE? Yeah, I get what he did, but he should never be forgotten because of things he's done in the wrestling field. You think he should be in the Hall of Fame? Well, first and foremost, what I think about Chris Benoit is that guy was one of the nicest guys I ever met in my life. He's one of the most talented, hard-working cats I've ever seen in a squared circle. Anybody who knew Chris would tell you those exact two things. That guy loved the damn wrestling business. He was born to be a wrestler, and he was absolutely phenomenal, drawing a lot of his inspiration, a lot of his influence from Dynamite Kid. Chris Benoit blazed the path as the Pegasus Kid, and his legacy as the crippler Chris Benoit was just one hellacious career. One night, Chris ended up killing his wife and his kid. That is a act so terrible and horrible, I can't even comprehend or even guess as to what happened in that house. that will always overshadow any accomplishment that Chris Benoit had in the ring. He'll never be in the Hall of Fame. It will just never happen. His career will speak for itself, but his record as a human being is first and foremost, and those actions will never be forgotten. That's my feelings on that. We don't even need to talk about the Hall of Fame. But speaking for myself, Chris Benoit, as the person I knew, loved him. Chris Benoit, as a wrestler, loved him. Chris Benoit, the person who did what he did, unforgivable. Bottom line.
Yeah, I mean,
He was brutally honest on that one.
oh yeah, I mean, he's very truthful.
Yeah.
I mean, like he said, as a person, he was a great human being, and as a wrestler, he was a great performer. But for what he did, it was wrong.
It
It's
is.
very unforgivable. I mean, it's unforgettable too.
Yeah.
So
You think it will permanently overshadow him, and that's why he won't be in
You
the Hall
know,
of Fame?
like, I mean, even what he said, the thing that he did, I mean, they won't accomplish the matches that he did, like the WrestleMania one. Like I said, that was a great match. That's the first title he ever won, major title he ever won. And they'll never mention that because he was in the match. You know what he did,
Yeah.
so we're not even gonna bother to acknowledge it. And there's a lot of other matches besides that he's been in. ECW. It's another program. It's like very edgy, violent program. He was part of ECW, and he was fucking awesome in ECW. They'll never mention it though because, again, for what he did. So it sucks.
It does. And I feel bad for his wife and son.
Yeah.
But
I think. I'm sorry,
No,
but
no,
I think supposedly my friend, he's a wrestling fan too. Apparently, he has another kid. Yeah, I have to look
that's
that up.
still alive?
Yeah, that's alive. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
yeah. I think it's a
did not know
Benoit.
that.
I think so. Yeah, I gotta look that up though because I never really fully researched on it. But yeah, I think
Damn.
that's true.
You just dropped a bombshell. You just dropped a bombshell, and we're over time. And you just dropped a bombshell that we need to go into, and now we can't because we don't have fucking research on it.
Well, save it
Thank
for
you,
another
Matt.
time.
Thank you, Matt.
I just remembered. I'm sorry.
Oh
We're over
my
time anyways,
God.
Ricky.
I know. We got to get this shit wrapped up. But
yeah.
I feel like, Chris Benoit is not going to make it to the Hall of Fame.
No, sadly, like I said, I mean, I wish he did, but it's never gonna happen.
It's not. And
yeah.
we wish it would, but, it is what it is. And we can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, anyways, Ricky is at the end. That's the end of
I
our
guess-
podcast of episode 6.
that's going to be the end this
Yeah.
time.
It's the
And-
end, ladies and gentlemen. Of Shock
we want to
Talk
thank all of
episode
you, though,
6.
right? For
Yeah.
listening and
For
visit us
those-
on shocktalkpod.com, right?
Yeah, shocktalkpodcast.com. You can subscribe to us, iTunes, on our homepage, and what else, Ricky?
We just got on Stitcher, everyone.
What the fuck is Stitcher?
If you have the Stitcher app, you can go ahead and search Shock Talk, and our episodes will be uploaded automatically to Stitcher every single episode. So take a look. It's www.stitcher.com. That's stitcher.com/podcast/shock-talk or -talk.
A lot of fucking things.
Just go to Stitcher or download the app, search Shock Talk. We're going to be there. Rate us on iTunes. Love us. Follow us on Twitter at Shock Talk Pod.
Shock Talk Pod. Instagram, Shock Talk
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. And no bullshit, Rick. That's me.
No bullshit.
Actually, I'm back on Instagram.
Oh
so
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back on Twitter too.
oof, yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough patch.
I'm also on Twitter too at no bullshit, Rick.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you have to follow me then.
I'll be following you soon, Matt.
Yeah.
Everybody follow us, support us. Thank you for spreading the word. Continue to listen to us.
Thank
and,
you for listening to
whew.
those hundreds of people, apparently. So,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy.
Hundreds. That's great.
Yeah.
We're on track to beat our record this month too. So you guys are all contributing to that. Definitely go on iTunes, help us out, do the Stitcher thing. The more downloads we get, the better. The more we can get ads, keep the shit free, and we will definitely do a subscription service soon. We'll
Yeah,
talk about it.
sometime down the line.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe down the line.
Yeah.
But thank you all, and just don't murder your family. Alrighty. All right. I love you guys.
I love you guys.
Peace.
Peace out.